Let's investigate vectors. And in particular, today what I'd like to do is investigate collinear vectors. Collinear vectors are vectors that are in the same line. So in this case, I have my vector is entirely in the positive x direction, and this one also will be entirely in the positive x direction. Now when I want to add these vectors together, all I need to do is put them head to tail. And the vector sum will be this result, whether that's a displacement, a velocity, an acceleration, a force. So let's click on Show Sum, and we can see that the vector sum of these two vectors is this larger green vector. And that's how you add vectors in one direction. Now, let's get rid of the sum, and let's think about what happens if, instead of pointing in the same direction, one of the vectors points, even though it's still collinear, in the exact opposite direction. Now remember what I did. I put the head of one vector to the tail of the other, so I need to do the same thing here. Head to tail, like that, and I'll get my result, my resultant. But it's going to be a bit tricky to see it. It should be a little tiny vector that starts at the tail of the first vector and ends at the head of the other vector. These kind of cancel each other out. We'll show you the sum right now. We can see that the sum is this. If I get that vector out of the way, you can see that this vector plus this vector gives me this little vector here. And that could be, like I said, it could be anything that is a vector quantity. It could be displacement. It could be an acceleration. It could be a force. It could be a velocity.